Alright, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Verbo, and if you're new to the channel, basically I play support for the Immortals Overwatch team, and this is a series of vlogs where I basically talk about certain topics that arise, and I basically give you guys my thoughts, maybe some of the teammates' thoughts on certain topics that I'm discussing. So, what are we going to be talking about in this video? I'm going to be talking about Overwatch League. I'm going to be talking about the video that I made, the story video where I just talked about, where I came from, who I am, and how I got here. And I'm also going to be answering the questions that were left in the comments from the previous vlog. So this is the second vlog, and we'll get right into it. So basically, Overwatch League. So if you guys haven't heard, basically Overwatch League was announced a while back, like last year's BlizzCon, and now they came up with a new announcement where people started buying spots in the league. You have NRG that bought San Francisco, you have Robert Kraft that got Boston, and then you also have I can't remember the name, but someone, or I think it was the president's brother of the New York Mets has New York. So that's basically what's going on. And Immortals actually bought a Los Angeles, which is amazing. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean for the Overwatch team? So basically, now that we own and now that we bought out the Los Angeles spot, we as a team and as an organization represent the LA's, like all of SoCal. So I think it goes down to San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, we're going to be representing all of Southern California. That's our land. This is our hometown. And basically, once the Overwatch League starts to get rolling and stuff like that, the local stadiums in LA, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the Staples Center is going to be our home stadium where, on a weekend, if you guys want to come out and go watch us play against, maybe Seoul or Energy, you'll be able to do that here in LA. So it's awesome. What are my thoughts on this? I think it's great to be able to represent such a great city like Los Angeles is just mind-blowing for me. Even when I was younger, I've always seen, pictures of California, but I knew it was I knew maybe like in the movies they overdid it. And I said, I really want to go visit California. So, I mean, now that I'm finally here, I love the weather. I love the state. I just love being here. And now that I get to represent Los Angeles, it's just crazy to me, and I can't believe it. So that's my thought on the Overwatch League. I know the rest of the team is feeling the exact same way. Everyone's super excited for it. Everyone's excited for it to finally start getting into gear, playing some games. I think the first season of Overwatch League is going to be strictly played in LA, and then the next season you're going to start seeing everybody flying. Say I'm a visitor team and I'm playing against Shanghai on Saturday. I would actually fly out to Shanghai, play my match, and then fly back home in LA. So that's good. That might be happening next season. And then moving on to the next topic, I'm going to be talking about the video that I released. So basically, what I released a video where I talked about, my life story, where I came from, how I got here, and I just want to mention the amount of positive feedback that I got for that video. It was just incredible. The people that messaged me, PM'd me on, shout out to those people that you guys messaged me on Reddit. You PM'd me on Twitter. You also tweeted me out and commented on the video. Just people saying that I've inspired them, or you guys telling me your life story and how mine was able to relate to yours, and how and how that video was able to help you. And that was the whole intention of that video. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video was not to make people feel sorry for me. I just wanted people to understand who I am, and also maybe have the video help you guys and have you relate to my situation and what I went through. So that's exactly what the video did, and it was a success. So that's all I could really ask for. I mean, yeah, that's basically all that happened with the video. I can start going into the questions from the last vlog. So I got a question from. Actually, okay. So I got a question that says, "What goes through pro Lucio minds?" So basically, to like give a summary of what was asked, like what goes through my mind as a Lucio player. I'm guessing like you're asking, what differentiates someone that's not a pro and someone that's a pro, and like what goes through my mind. So some things that I can tell you are, you always want to be thinking about the end. You always want to be thinking about how you want to use your ultimate or your abilities, how you want to position, and how you want to use your ultimate. So if we're looking at Lucio, for example, how am I going to use my ability? So you take a look at your team composition, you take a look at the map structure, and you say, how am I going to when am I going to use my movement speed over my heals? When am I going to prioritize heals over movement speed? And you're going to be constantly thinking about that in the game over and over and over and over again. Like, it's a continuous thing. And then when you're thinking about boosts, when you're thinking about your amp it up, you want to be thinking about, do I want to amp up heals here? Do I want to amp up speed here? Who do I want to amp up? Like, do I have a Zarya on my team? Is the Zarya on my team going to get nano? Do I want to save my amp movement speed for the Zarya so she can get more damage out and it can be more effective? When it comes to your boop, your right click, you want to be thinking about who you want to boop. Do I want to use my boop aggressively to like maybe knock a Reinhardt into my team? Or do I want to use my boop defensively to maybe protect my Ana in the back line? So that's what you kind of need to, like, that's what needs to go through your mind as a Lucio. That's like very, very basic stuff. If you want to go more in depth, you can look at the enemy team composition and you can say, okay, say they're running dive and they're running, the standard dive composition: Genji Tracer, Monkey Diva, Lucio Zen. How do I want to use my sound barrier? I want to use my sound barrier for the Genji Blade. Obviously, if my Zenyatta does not have ultimate. If my Zen doesn't have ultimate and they have Genji Blade, my sound barrier is going to save my team. So I need to save it for that. Also, say that they don't have Dragon Blade and you know that, and your team has Trance and you also have sound barrier. Like, maybe you want to use beat aggressively. Maybe you want to say, okay, guys, let's go in. We're going to initiate the fight with sound barrier. And then at least it gives your team that extra shield to absorb that initial damage that you guys can take when you guys go in. So it's just things that you want to think about. It goes way in depth. My advice to you is start basic. Basically make those basic things that you're supposed to go through your head second nature, like flipping crossfade between movement speed and heals. It'll eventually become second nature to the point where you're doing it without thinking about it, and then you can start building from there, and you start building things over and over again, and it's endless, the things that you can go through your mind playing Lucio. And this is just for one hero. You can do this for a lot of heroes as well. So what else? Okay, we got another question. How was it transitioning Grim from Soldier to Tracer and Julius from Hawk to Genji as you guys became more and more of a full-on dive team? I know Grim played Tracer before, and of course Julius played Genji, but there was definitely a time and a meta when those heroes weren't what they mostly played. Okay, so basically what you're asking is, like, how was the transition from our usual, triple tank Soldier comp to dive? And you are right, yes. The comfort champions were, we would put Achilles on Roadhog and we would put Grim on either Soldier or McCree. And how was the transition when, dive became more of meta and dive was used more? How did we transition? Initially, I'm going to be completely honest, we were trying to be very stubborn about it and say, we're going to stick with our strength. We're going to make triple tank Soldier work, even though dive looks to be a lot stronger and looks to be like the meta. So we wanted to stick with triple tank Soldier, and slowly and surely we started to figure out that, even if we were playing triple tank Soldier at the best we possibly could, it still wasn't working out as well. So we said, let's try dive, and then slowly transitioning into dive, putting Grim on Tracer, putting Agilities on Genji. We weren't used to playing dive. It didn't really fit our play style, but we had to adapt. Again, adapting is a very important skill for a team, especially in Overwatch, because the meta is constantly changing. So that's basically like the transition wasn't easy. It did take a while. I mean, tournament results while we were transitioning weren't the greatest. Obviously, we have to go through roster changes as well because things just weren't working out when we transitioned to dive. But again, we finally found our footing, and we're doing well now in this meta. So I mean, we'll see what happens next meta, but that's how it went. That's how the transition went. That's basically it, guys. This one was pretty short, I guess. 10 minutes, 10-minute video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you guys have any questions that you want to leave me that I can answer in the next video, like I'm doing right, like I just did, please feel free, put them in the comments. I will, pick 2 or 3 questions that I can answer and then answer them at the end of the next vlog. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the videos, if you like the series, feel free to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys later.